South Florida shell shock for homeowners when your insurance renewal notice shows your premium has doubled or tripled or more. The market is complicated. The agents who help you maneuver that market and find what you need and can afford are scrambling to keep up. Debbie Iten is one of those. Her family insurance agency has been in SoFlo for generations. Debbie, it is great to have you on the program. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So we talked this week a little bit, and I was sort of relieved to hear from someone like you that you do believe that these reforms will work. I know your timeline's a little bit longer, which I'm sure is hard for people to hear, but what does, take us sort of on that front line and inside your day-to-day. What are you telling your customers, your homeowners?
Well, basically, we're looking at, 18 to 24 months for the reforms that they put in place to actually start working. It's going to take a minute for it to get there. We're trying to explain to everyone so that they understand, because it is complicated, everything that's happening with the reinsurance and the costs that have gone up, what's driving that, a lot of prior claims. We can't control the weather. As Lisa said, you can't predict that. It's something that you have to just try to work with everybody that's there. We try to work with people to make sure that they're getting every discount they can possibly get. A lot of times there's little things that you can do to change your home that will give you an additional discount on your insurance that'll help bring the premiums down.
Yeah,
But the premiums,
that was kind of what Lisa was talking about just a few minutes ago, and I want to talk about that. But I just want to get a sense of. We've had two insurers just this week announce that they're going to stop renewing and stop writing. You are in the business of providing options, right, for your customers. Are there companies writing Florida policies now? Are there new companies or even old companies who are giving you the option to give the option?
there are companies that are available to write. It's going to depend on the particular home. It's going to depend on prior claims. It's going to depend on the age of the roof in some cases. Different areas around Florida have different regulations and different guidelines. So some carriers may be available in North Florida that are not available in South Florida right now. Tri-County, Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, and Monroe County are extremely difficult. And obviously the West Coast, because of the hurricanes that just went through, are more difficult than the rest of the state. There are some carriers that are writing, aside from Citizens, again, depending on the home. The further north you go, there are other carriers that, don't write here that will write. We do know that there are some carriers that are looking to come into the market, and we're hoping to see those carriers start hopefully end of third quarter, beginning of fourth quarter. And we're also hoping that some of the carriers that have been closed recently, meaning not writing any new business, will hopefully start writing in the fall. Everybody is just pretty much finished placing their reinsurance, so that's always a tricky time, and a lot of carriers will limit the amount that they write or cease writing during that point in time, and then they'll start writing again. But we're looking forward towards the end of the year. There's a lot of changes still coming, but hopefully towards the end of the year, we'll see more availability.
I'm listening to you, and you know so much about the companies, and you're sort of that broker, that go-between. And I also know that you have customers that have been with you probably since they were kids. And,
Yes.
and their families. And I know it's probably, you've taken a tough phone calls. Give us a sense of what the mood is with people now.
It's hard. A lot of people will call in, they're very concerned because in addition to your taxes and your principal and your interest, your mortgage payment includes your insurance premium.
Mm-hmm.
And when insurance premiums go from 3,000 to 8,000, 10,000, we have clients where their premiums are even exceeding $15,000, $20,000 a year. If they're in close proximity of the beach or other areas, that can be part of your mortgage payment. People are very anxious about it. People are very concerned. They're worried that, if they can't make their mortgage payment, it not only impacts the insurance portion of it, but it impacts their ability to stay in their home. We're seeing people who are looking to move out of the state of Florida because they say they just can't afford to live here anymore. It's tough. We have had conversations with people that have been in their homes in the area since they were built back in the 60s or 70s, and they're having to up and leave their homes because they just cannot afford $1,000 a month for insurance. And right now, there's some cases there's just not anything you can do to help them. The
Yeah.
premiums are just crazy.
It really is heartbreaking in so many ways. In some cases, from your perch, do you have faith that insurers that you work with are in it for the long haul? When you connect an insurance company that might have a product that fits with a price that fits one of your clients, do you have full faith that that company is going to be around for however long they need to be around?
We do. We try to be very careful. My husband and myself have um, looked at financials on companies. We try to keep up with them. We have conversations with the marketing reps who represent each of the carriers. We're involved with the Florida Association of Insurance Agents, which is a state agency that helps monitor things that are going on. We try to be very active and involved. We spend time in Tallahassee. You have to be able to hear from a lot of different sources and make sure that the companies that you're working with are going to be here tomorrow. There's unpredictable things that happen because sometimes these corporate offices aren't located in Florida, and there's decisions being made outside of Florida that nobody in Florida can control.
Right,
And
exactly. Were you surprised to hear about Farmers? I don't know about AAA, but Farmers is such a name, and it sounded like even the state officials that work in insurance were pretty shocked when Farmers decided to make that announcement. Were you?
Yeah, we hadn't heard too much about them like pulling out of the state of Florida. We represent a leg of Farmers, which is they write more on the auto side in South Florida. They don't really write the homeowner side. They'll write some in North Florida, but not down here. But I was surprised. I would think that closing down and not writing any new business, but completely pulling out of the state. But it's been a very difficult time for some of these carriers. They've been, really had a hard time after the hurricane. They've also had a hard time with a lot of litigation that's come about. Things are very different. If you look back at Hurricane Andrew and the amount of claims that were litigated after Hurricane Andrew, which we were here during Hurricane Andrew, then you look at Hurricane Wilma and you see during Hurricane Wilma how many claims were litigated during Hurricane Wilma. Not many, some. But then you look at Hurricane Irma, completely different ballgame. And even 2 and 3 years after the storm, a lot of litigation came up. And so it's not the insurers. A lot of people don't realize that the insurance companies don't just have to pay the claim. Part of your premium is wrapped up when they're having to pay attorney's fees. When you have a claim that's paid for $30,000 or $40,000, and then there's attorney's fees and other fees on top of it that are being charged to the insurance company, which has been out there in the news. The legislators have talked about it. Can be $100,000 or more. I mean, it's tough for all of us, and it's tough for the carriers. You feel bad because it's not just a claim. It's about a lot more. And the insurance company.
Yeah, and to your point, I think some of the new reforms and what we've talked about this hour are meant to address exactly that. And also to your point, it's going to be a wait to see. Debbie Iten, great to have you on the program for the first time, and I hope it won't be the last.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right.